I'm faded, is it the codeine, morphine? I start to feel it slow.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Back with another video today, and I'm going to be showing you how to make a sports edit. If you guys don't know what sports edits are, they've been around for a decade now, meaning like on social media. They've been around obviously for way longer than that, but using Photoshop and Illustrator, that's what I'm going to be doing today. Also using Topaz Labs. You can download Topaz Labs online. There is paid versions of Topaz Labs, but I think there is, with the things that I'm going to be using today to show you, I think you can download those for free off of the actual Topaz website. So you guys can go ahead and do that. I will try to link those sites in the description, but I'm going to show you guys my settings and what I like to do for sports edits. And as you can see, the quality of this image is just absolutely incredible. So I was searching for maybe 15-20 minutes trying to find a really good photo, because when you do this edit, you want to make sure that you're not using a low quality photo, which is kind of obvious. But even a photo that you think looks good, when you put these effects on it, it can cause different noise on the outside of the player or certain things like that. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to show you the whole process that I go through to make one of these edits. Second off, hopefully this will show you guys, if you're new to Photoshop or Illustrator, what to actually do. If you don't even know where to start, this is just kind of the perfect starting video that you guys can watch to try to do. Alright, so without further ado, let's just get into this. So the first thing, obviously, when you put the picture in here, you can literally just go online, drag a picture onto Photoshop and drop it, and it will come up in here. So what I do next is you got to go over here, unlock this, so then you can actually mess with it. Then once you have Topaz unlocked or you have Topaz downloaded, you can then go up to Filter, Topaz Labs down at the bottom, and the first thing I do is Topaz Adjust 5. So you're going to click on that, and if you guys, like I said, you guys can search this up individually if you have to. And this is usually what I use. It's already saved in here. So let me go down here, and it's going to be psychedelic. If you guys see that right there, psychedelic. That's what I usually use for this. As you can see, this is the original, and this is what it looks like after psychedelic has gone on there. See, it already looks pretty sweet. I'm just going to show you guys what I have here. I'm almost positive these two, once you pick, are the same as if you would just go over here. So let me just do it for you guys. This is what it would come out as if you just clicked on it. Like super, it's too much. Let's just say that. So what I usually do is I don't even mess with these two. I go down to finishing touches, transparency, and I adjust it on this. So the more you adjust it, you can adjust it to your liking. I actually might change that up a little bit. So I have it around 60 overall transparency. So what that's going to do is it's just going to kind of affect how much you can see the effect that's giving off. So once you do that, then you can just click OK. And there it is. That's pretty awesome. Really nice skin there for that. And then still have this layer selected. Go to Filter again, Topaz Labs, and now we're going to be using Topaz Clean 3. Go ahead and open that up. Alright, so now you can use any of these, but for this design and almost all of my designs, I end up using Curly Smooth, right? So as you can see, that is a lot right there. Let's go 50%. That's too much, right? Too much messing around there. So I usually play with this depending on the photo. And then you can change the accent down here. Let's see. So that looks pretty decent. You can change the threshold. And depending on what you like, as you can see in the background here, when you mess with the threshold, it also will affect the skin also. That's what it looked like before. And as you mess with the threshold, see, look, if I put that all the way up, it makes it super noise reduced there. But we don't want that. We want it super low, if anything. Let's go ahead and put it at what, like 15, something around there. Okay, that looks good. Now this right here, this is all up to you, but this is what I'm gonna do for this particular edit. You guys can obviously, like I've been saying, mess with it as you like and what you think looks good. So I'm just gonna click OK. Alright, so as you guys can see, this is like one of the craziest skins, as you can see. This is top quality skin. You can see the little curly effects in here, especially in that beard. But it looks so smooth and professional, and I think that's why I like it so much. So as you can see, the skins are done, right? That's all I do for the skins, just those 2 simple steps. Now, the best part, or I guess the most time-consuming part, I wouldn't say it's the best part, it's the most time-consuming part, is cutting out or erasing the background. Now you can do this where you can smart select, right? And then you can click option and try to deselect where you don't want it. See, that's probably the easiest way. That's the most easiest way to do this. Now, sometimes, and usually what I like to do, I don't actually like to do the smart selection because it doesn't always turn out perfectly. So let me go again here. Okay, see, you can see some stuff still in there. Let me clear that. Okay, so once we're finished with this, then we're gonna go ahead and, so all the outside is selected, right? And what we're gonna do is we're literally just gonna hit delete, and that should delete all of the outside and make it all transparent. Now hit Command D to deselect. Now you can see little things like this. That's partly why I don't really like doing that, but just for the sake of the video, I'm not going to take too much time to do this. But then you're going to want to go to the eraser tool, obviously adjust the size of it because you're going to want to get in to these little areas. It's going to be smaller than that. Yeah, probably 6 will work for this. Maybe I'll have to go smaller. Yeah, I'll actually have to go smaller here. Let's see, 3 or so. Alright, so then this is where it gets a little bit tedious. Go in and you got to fix up these little spots, right, that the selection tool did not get. Let's go in here. This one isn't really that big of a deal. Okay. And as you can see, this is why I somewhat like to just use this tool all the way around and trace it, because the selection is not always that great. Now, I will show you a different way that you can mess with this once we take it into Illustrator. So the rest looks pretty decent. Let me go in here. You're gonna have to color out or erase all of the green. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's just depending on how much you want to do. Remember, the more details that you put in or try and the effort you put in, the better the quality of the image is going to look. So once we finish this, we'll be pretty close to being able to take it right into Illustrator. Okay. So right here, that's also why I don't like doing it. Let's see. I'm actually gonna make this just a little bit bigger and erase that on the outside. Just because I want it to be more consistent than it is. All right, now right here. Okay. All right, I think for the most part, that's done. All right, that looks good. So I'm gonna link down in the description. Let's just go over here to Illustrator. I will try to provide you guys with this template that I use, or edit template that I have made. I mean, it's really simple, but the photos that I use are going to be in this for different backgrounds and things like this. So this is just the template I use for really any sports edit that I do. So the first thing is go from Photoshop, and you're just going to drag the PNG over to Illustrator, drag and drop, and as you can see, he is your average PNG file there. Now the thing about the Brooklyn Nets is their colors are not the greatest, right? But you can do so many different things with this. First thing, I usually like to put this in here. This is probably the background I use the most. It's pretty nice. But this is the key of it, right? Let me go ahead and put this over it. Now we're obviously going to be changing the color. And let me do black. So when you click black, this is just an average box that you can make over here. But then you go down to opacity and you just change it to color. Because when this is the original, if it's just normal, it's just black, right? But then you put it at the color, which then turns the blue background into just a black and white background. So you could use that, right? You could only use that. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place in a photo that I already had in my sports edits that I kind of created for the Brooklyn Nets. So I'm gonna go ahead and place this here, and that's just like the right size. Okay, and as you can see, a little white line there, so sometimes it's better off just to make it a little bit bigger than the actual artboard itself, just to ensure. So then you can go to opacity and really just click and find what fits best. See, these are not going to do as well on it. So let's just say you want this, for example. Now let's go ahead and put Mr. James Harden here. Let's bring him to the front. put him there. Make him a tad bit bigger. That looks good. Okay. So as you can see, that already looks pretty decent. Second, you can do what you want on this step. You can either put a team logo behind it, or you can put text behind it. It's really up to you. I usually like to use a team logo when I do this, but you can also do text. So I'm just gonna put Harden, type that in. Alright, I'm probably gonna have to make this white. Let's choose a font for it. Kind of like that. Batman Forever. Right, so let's say you have this. Try to line it up. And then just send it back. And you can put it back as much as you want. That's actually kind of cool there. If you put it back behind that. Okay, let's not do that. But first, depending on how many... Oh, got those selected there. You can hit Control and then drag it down to create a new one. See, like it's a copy method, so I'm gonna have to move Harden here so it works better. Rip. Okay. So just do this as many times as you want. Line them up. I mean, you don't have to do it as much as this. I'm just using this as an example. So let's say you do that. Now just click and hold Shift, select all of these, and then hit Command. And I don't really know what key it is. I'm stupid. It's right underneath the plus and minus key, and you send that backwards. So that looks pretty decent. Now let's put Harden back in place. That looks pretty good. And then this is the final touches that I put on it. Go ahead and click the image of Harden, go up to Effect, Stylize, and then click Outer Glow. Okay, so you can see just a little bit of outer glow there. This right here you can change. I usually change this to 100% opacity. And then I change this, I think, to 200. It might change itself automatically. Okay, there you go. So the max blur you can do is 144p px, which is pixels. So then just click OK. And look at that. That's a pretty dope edit. So you might be wondering about the outside of it, how it's off, but that doesn't really make a huge difference when we export it. Forgot about this. Let me put that in there. It's from my actual Instagram page. Okay. So that looks pretty dope, actually. Now what you can do is export it. And obviously you want to save it to wherever you want to. Let me just go ahead, desktop. Where was that? Okay, sports edits, it's already in there. I'm just stupid. Change this to JPEG, and then you're going to want to click use artboards. What that's going to do, it's going to cut off all of the outside parts that you're not using. That is very crucial to make sure that nothing is messed up. So then once again, you're just going to want to rename it. So I'm going to name it James Harden Nets, and then export that. Change this to RGB if it's not already on that. All this, resolution 300 ppi, standard for that, and go ahead and click OK. Okay, so once that's exported, obviously just go find it. Go to wherever you saved the file. And here it is. This is a really nice edit here. So let me know what you guys think about this, or if you guys want me to do a different style. And as you can see right over here, there's a little bit on the side here that isn't cut off. So you can go ahead, it's just depending on what you want to do. You can go ahead and just select that and then hit crop. Okay, there you go. So what that did is it cut off all of the excess stuff there. And once again, I will try to put the template for Illustrator inside of the description. But let me know what you guys think. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it or this helped you out at all. I mean, these are really good edits that you can use. That background that I had, that's kind of like the camo tiger style. That's something that I had made myself, because if you guys don't know the Brooklyn Nets, their city edition jerseys from years past, and I think it's still this year, it had that pattern on the outlines of it, which was pretty good. So that's kind of the style that I wanted to use, because especially for them just being black and white colors, it's very dull. You want to make it pop. And I think with this edit, we really did that. I think this looks pretty good. So once again, guys, let me know what you think. Leave a comment and subscribe if you haven't. All right, peace out.